today. Tahir Hussain is none other than the founder of the Unstoppable Millionaire Academy. Unstoppable, guys. What it simply means is like, you know, that rock monster. I won't call him a monster. The guy like in the Fantastic Four that looks like a rock. You know, you put whatever barrier in front of him, you're just going to be banging through. You know, that's called unstoppable. So I don't care whether it's a world problem or it's a COVID-19 or whatever, lack of knowledge of the internet or no business idea. You need to be unstoppable. And that's why our friend Tahir Hussain is here today to share with us how to be unstoppable. Okay, and not only that, Tahir also he is the author of the Unstoppable Millionaire book. Okay, so maybe after this, you can find out from him how you can get his book. I would surely want to have one of his book, his copy of that book. Amazing. And he's also an international speaker who has spoken to over 1 million people around the world, guys. Okay, so what you want to do is not just only going to be listening to Tahir tonight. I strongly suggest if you have a pen and paper next to you, or nowadays if you were to type in on your laptop or your iPad, I strongly encourage you to do that, because it's not every day you can have somebody that has spoken to 1 million people right in front of you, right at your living room, sharing with you some really amazing ideas and tips on how you can get out of this, or how you can even thrive in these very difficult times, all right? And he's also a wealth and life coach. He created over 100 self-made millionaires. All right. So if you are a thriving person that wants to be a millionaire, or more than 1,000 millionaire, or whatever it is, you want to be listening to our speaker here today. And of course, last but not least, can you imagine he was even awarded by the ruler's office of Dubai? Now, before I forget, Tahir is not a Malaysian, okay? Although he has been in Malaysia for quite some time, I'm very sure he can speak some Bahasa. But he's not Malaysian. I will leave him to introduce where he's from and his background. But he was actually awarded by the ruler's office of Dubai, UAE, for his achievements. So it's really, really amazing. And it's our real privilege to have our amazing speaker to be here, to spend some of his very precious time to share with us how to create wealth in difficult times. So with this, let's put our hands together and welcome none other than Mr. Tahir Hussain. Yeah, over to you, brother.
Well, thank you so very much. I'm humbled, I'm honored, and I'm excited to have an absolutely rocking audience right here with us. So thank you, brother, for inviting me. Number one, I'm really happy to be here. I'd like to welcome our friends from Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Norway, Indonesia, UK, India. And you used the example from Fantastic Four, The Rock. I used the example of the Hulk from Avengers. That's the unstoppable. So before I get started, I just want to quickly request all of you that rather than just wowing you for the next couple of minutes, I want you to play all out with me today, meaning that whatever you are doing, if you can stop, completely focus on it. We live in a world where there are so many distractions. Just a couple of minutes with me, because I'm going to share something really exciting, and I'm pretty sure there will be tremendous value for you in it. And then if time permits, we definitely would be doing Q&A as well. So let's get right to it. And I'm going to do a screen share. So let me see if that is working. And it looks like it is working. Yes. So good. So once again, Gary, thank you so very much for having me today on this particular session, where I want to talk about creating wealth and how to create wealth and maintain wealth during the crisis we are basically in. So I'll touch base on that. You're more than welcome to ask me literally any questions, whether you are on a Zoom call, whether you are on a live, wouldn't matter. I'm pretty sure Gary can help me facilitate on that. So a little bit about me further is that I became a millionaire at the age of 27, and I started working at the age of 17. My biggest breakthrough in life, or my first biggest breakthrough in life, came to me because of the direct sales, because of the network marketing industry. It's true. At the age of 17, someone invited me to a presentation. Who knew that 10 years later, I would be in a position where I would make my first million US dollars at the age of 27. And at the age of 28, I created over 100 self-made millionaires in the real estate industry back in Dubai. So my name is Tahir Hussain. I grew up in Dubai, and that's where I've lived my entire life, educated in the United States. I was there a couple of years. As Gary said, I've spent a couple of years in Malaysia, traveling the world, which is what I'm fond of doing. I was also featured in the Entrepreneur Platform magazine. On their cover, there's a great story about me in there. And of course, a copy of my book. If you're interested in a copy of my book, leave Gary a message, leave me a message, and we'll find a way to get you that. It's on Amazon, but if you're in Malaysia, we can probably have it autographed and send it to you as well. Okay, so that's that. So a quick one on my story. So I get in at the age of 17, no idea what network marketing is, no idea how to become rich, but that's the goal, right? That is the goal, that I want to earn passive income, become financially independent, get in, struggled, failed. My first paycheck in network marketing was less than $2 US. That was my first paycheck when I was 17. 10 years later, I had earned over $1 million US. So do not underestimate the power of doing something small, as long as you feel fulfilled, as long as you feel happy, and use that to encourage yourself. That was my first paycheck for selling a soap. Yep, that's right. And at the age of 21, I was already building $1 million business back then. Since then, I've helped companies grow from $1 million into billion-dollar companies, been advisors to some of those companies, build a network marketing business of $100 million, $200 million in sales volume. So the reason I tell you that, especially about direct sales and network marketing industry, is because I realize majority of you would be from the Kangen Power team. Majority of you probably are coming from the network marketing background. So I'll keep that aspect in mind. And I salute all of you for doing what you're doing, because it is not easy. So if someone told you sign up and it's going to be easy, no, it's not going to be easy. It never is. Okay. So that's a quick one on my story to inspire you. I just turned 40 2 months ago, right? And now the mission is bigger. Now the mission is, how can the Unstoppable Millionaire Academy, through collaborations like Gary and many others out there, help create 1,000 self-made millionaires? And COVID-19 has just made that easier. Yeah, you heard me right. So COVID-19 has made it easy. Let me explain what's going on, and I think you know that. So let's look at some of the facts. COVID-19 and its effects. The world as we knew before March 2020 is gone. That world doesn't exist. And I'll explain what I mean by that. The economy as we knew has changed. Now, I realize some of you probably might be feeling the heat, probably in the Philippines or the Indonesia. UK went through one of the worst 100-year economic downfall of 100 years, which includes World War I and World War II. The economy is changing so quickly that if the masses do not adapt, they will be left behind and they will be in pain. So that's what's happening because of COVID as we speak. The industries as we knew will evolve to new heights. We are today discussing how quickly retail outlets, starting with America, are going bankrupt at a pace we've never seen before. Yet we have industries and companies like Amazon where people are debating how they're gonna turn into trillion-dollar companies. How Jeff Bezos might be turning into a trillionaire. Interesting. while billions of dollars are lost in certain industries, a couple of billion dollars and trillions of dollars will be made in certain industries because of this shake-up. So I want you to keep an open mind as we talk about that. So here's a question. You're like, okay, so all of this sounds scary. What should an entrepreneur do? Right? And I'll talk a bit about that today, and then we'll get into the direct sales. So let's go and look at what is wealth creation. The typical meaning in a dictionary: an abundance of valuable possessions or money. A lot of us understand abundance of money is wealth, number one. Number two, a plentiful supply of a particular desirable thing. That's number two. Make sense? So you have so much of it that nothing else matters. So when I was 17, and you need to know this, when I was 17, someone asked me, do you know what passive income is? And I'm like, I don't know. I wake up in the morning and money is there. And then I remember one of my mentors, he said that passive income for him means that money coming to you so quickly that you cannot spend enough of it. Now keep in mind, I was a teenager at that time, and I'm like, wow, the college never taught me that. I like that. I like the sound of that. But the college never taught me that. I'm like, I'm interested to know more about what this industry is all about back then, right? Because no one taught me how to do that. So I was very excited. So here are some questions, and by all means take notes and then ask questions once we're done, right? So question number one, how much time do you take today to listen and learn about wealth? Shut down, lockdown, we were all stuck in homes. Some of us around the world are still stuck in homes. How much time are you spending doing that? Why? See, this is what I do not understand. Majority of the people want to be financially free. Majority of us want to build massive teams, but majority of our time is spent doing things that is not going to give us wealth. Why would you spend that time? I'm not saying ditch your family. Okay, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about all that extra time that we trick ourselves into thinking that, hey, you know what? No, it's okay. I think I'm working. No, you're not. So if you did a time audit, if I was an auditor, like a financial audit, if you did an audit of your time from March, April, May, June, July, August, September, 7 months, where did that time go? You had all the time, right? When you were in, how much of that time were you spending listening and learning about wealth? Good question to ask. How many of these conferences and Zoom calls are you on learning? Not just listening passively, but actively learning and then implementing about wealth, about passive income, about business building, correct? How much of that time? So that's number one. If you aren't spending enough time, so if I asked you, show me your calendar, I will show you your income. I could do that. See, I learned this 20 years ago that success is not created by luck, which we know that. It takes hard work. So does failure. See, it's not easy to fail. It takes a lot of hard work. A lot of people knowingly or unknowingly work so hard on doing things that are never going to produce the results, that are never going to make them rich. That takes a lot of hard work. Prospecting your people the wrong way takes a lot of hard work. Not to make the money, right? Same with wealth, okay? So success is as equally deservable as failure. Understand that, right? Failure is not by default. Success is not by default either, okay? So that's question number one for you. Question number two, who are your mentors on wealth? See, I've spent a small amount of money getting educated as a software engineer. That's my education. I graduated from the United States, right? But I've spent six-figure money in US dollars, that's over $100,000 in the last 20 years for personal development. And that's the best investment I've ever made. Mentors, coaches, people like Tony Robbins, Mr. Worldwide, Pitbull, Brian Tracy, Les Brown, John Maxwell, you name it. To be in the same room as those people and to learn from them and meet some of them takes a lot, right? Traveling around the world just to meet them. So who are your mentors on wealth today? Why would that be important? Because a mentor or a coach can help you, save you a decade, 10 years or more of your life. I was once asked on one of the radio stations in Kuala Lumpur, if I could go back in time and change something, what would I change? I said, nothing. And then I said, if I could go back in time and change something, what I would actually change is get a coach when I was 17. That would have been nice, yeah? So why? Because I could have saved 10 years. I could have become a millionaire a lot quicker. That's why, that's how important it is. Point number 3, do you have a wealth coach and how is your progress in the last 30, 60 or 90 days? Some of you would be like, I've got an absolutely phenomenal upline. Fantastic. If your upline is your coach, awesome. If your upline is not your coach, find a coach. If your upline is awesome, show me your results. The beauty about results is that results don't lie. That's why we talk about X amount of money, Y amount of sales, Z amount of business partners in your organization, right? Because we can measure it. That's why. So these are good questions you want to take down. 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Who is my coach? Who is my mentor? Who are my uplines? What's the kind of income I'm making? By the way, if you're not in direct sales, if you're not in network marketing, and you're an SME, you're running your own businesses, same question. Who are those mentors who you're following? So this will be a great exercise, by the way. Why? Because this will get you on the right track towards creating wealth. Okay? Right. Next one. Business owners or want to be business owners. During COVID-19 situation, which is pretty much not over by far, what are you doing differently than other days? Good question. So you're like, I don't know. So if you have a mindset pre-March, which means what you were thinking back in January, February, and the rest of your life before March, if that's what you're thinking today, you will be in pain because a lot has changed. A lot has innovated. Just on my friends who are on Zoom right now, do you know how much they've grown? They have grown from a technological point in 6 months to a point that they haven't grown in the lifetime of Zoom. Just to give you an example. So Zoom's technological growth in the last 6 months is so big that the rest of the years it took them to become Zoom, this 6 months was huge because it was either they get the entire market and everyone talks about that, or they don't get it at all. They just went all out. So that's another example. How differently are you thinking today, working today, strategizing today? What kind of mindset are you in today? So here's an activity, a homework if you want. List 3 things that you did not do before COVID-19 that you're doing today as a business. So you can say before COVID-19, whether you were struggling or you were doing great in your organization, in your business, make a list. But what are you doing differently today? You know what, most of the time I'm hearing from people, and this is across insurance, real estate, developers, investments, stocks, trading, network marketing. They're like, oh my God, most of them are complaining and whining about things. So I'll give you a tip. Whatever you focus on is where your energy will go. If you're focused on what is not working, and by the way, you might be right. Your energy will be focused on that thing that doesn't work. I'll give you an example for people who are into health. If some of you are fat and you look in the mirror and you keep saying, oh my God, look at me, how fat I am. Look at me, how fat I am. What do you think is going to happen? Are you going to reduce weight? No, you're not going to reduce weight. And then your mind will keep saying, yes, you are fat. Yes, you are fat. Yes, you are fat. What a shame. Are you wrong? You're not wrong. But is it helping? No, it's not. Okay? So list those 3 things that you are focused on today because of what's happening with COVID. Extremely important. And the next thing is 95% businesses fail in their first 3 to 5 years. This is traditional businesses, not network marketing. Network marketing, 3 to 6 months. Over 80% distributors would give up in the first 90 to 120 days. You know why they give up? Not because it's hard. They give up because it's too easy. What do you mean? Because it doesn't cost a couple of 100,000 ringgit, a couple of thousand or $100,000 to set up your showroom or something. So giving up is easy. That's why they give up. If they would have put 10, 20, 50, $100,000 in a traditional business, they wouldn't give up that easily. 95% of traditional businesses fail in the first 3 to 5 years. 85% distributors fail in the first 3 to 6 months. What do you think will keep you in the top 5%? Think about it. And I just told you to figure out who your mentors and coaches are. Are they in the top 5%? Do you listen to people who are in the top 5% from your industry, from your company? If you had an opportunity to get hold of them, have lunch with them, breakfast with them, team building with them, would you do that? Because that will define, you won't luckily become successful. That will define how far you will go. You realize that. A lot of us think it's just about the compensation plan, just the product. All of that is important, but all of that is not enough. Okay? Welcome to network marketing. Now, for those of you who are in direct sales, I've got some absolutely excellent news for all of you. Listen to this. As of 2017, and the numbers are coming out, distributors grew to 116 million people around the world. Sales grew to 189 billion US dollars per annum. As an industry, which very few people talk about, we grew to 189 billion US dollars per annum, bigger than the Hollywood industry, whose sales in 2018 was at 136 billion US dollars. So the millionaires of the network marketing industries are the Brad Pitts and the Angelina Jolies of the Hollywood. Any one of you could be that. You realize that with whatever your sign-up cost was or distributorship package was, any one of you could be that. Hollywood wouldn't give you that. Now, I love Hollywood movies, by the way, okay? So I'm not against Hollywood, but Hollywood wouldn't give me that. The network marketing industry gives everyone that opportunity. It levels the playing field. It doesn't care about your background, language, country, ethnicity, none of that. It doesn't care about your designation, whether you're a janitor or a manager or a CEO or a business owner or a millionaire or someone who's completely broke. The industry doesn't care. It rewards you based on how you perform. Wouldn't that be nice? At least for most of us, that would be nice, right? That is the stats I'm giving you right now about the direct sales industry. And it just gets better, by the way. 1.5 trillion US dollars. Yes, that is what network marketing companies generated in sales since 2009. In a decade, in about 10 years, $1.5 trillion in sales revenue was generated through the network marketing industry. It just gets better. $600 billion. Yes, network marketing distributors like you and me were paid 600 billion US dollars in commissions in the last 10 years. Network marketing industry pays a lot more in commissions than the Hollywood industry. How cool is that? Because it is distributed equally among a lot of people. No, not the 1% in network marketing top guys make money. That's not true. It is just 600 billion is a lot of money. I'll give you an example. $600 billion for my Malaysian friends is like buying Malaysia 3 times. I know no one can buy a country, but if you could buy it you could buy Malaysia 3 times. That's how much money this is in terms of the Malaysian economy. It's crazy. It's a lot of money. And that's the industry we are in right now. That's what it is doing. $76 billion paid to distributors in commissions in 2017. 1 year. That is $208 million a day. Now, we don't have the latest numbers, so they'll be coming out. But could you imagine that you go to sleep and you wake up, and you can put this on your mirror, on your wall, wherever you look at when you wake up. Someone got $200 million paid in your industry around the world. Wow. This is the hard question. What percentage of that do you want? Interesting question. You see, when I become a millionaire, no one cared. Who cares? Who cares? Because that's how much wealth is out there in the world. Do you understand? In a trillion dollar economy, if you became a millionaire, majority of them wouldn't even blink. They wouldn't even know. Because that's how much wealth is there. Maybe if you became a trillionaire, someone would care, because only those many would ever make it, or a billionaire. But if you became a millionaire, no one cares. At least majority of them don't. That's how much money is out there. I want you to understand that the beauty of creating wealth, and I use the word creating, not getting, is because wealth is created. It is not earned. Commission is earned. Passive income is created. So what percentage of $200 million a day? By the way, this number has gone way up. Way up. I don't have that number yet. But what percentage of this comes to you in a day, in a month, in a year? Good question to ask, right? And why not? If you're happy with that number, awesome, keep growing. If you're not, something isn't working. And I've given you a lot of tips that you can look at what probably isn't working and make that work, right? With the current crisis, the number of distributors around the world will jump to new highs. There's no doubt about it. The question is, how many of these would be in your network? How many? What do you think people are doing when they are stuck at home? When restaurants close earlier? They've got all the time in the world. Technology has taken a whole new meaning. Heard those stories where, oh my God, after office hours, jam, I cannot make it. I don't know how to invite prospects. It's all online, right? So the current crisis, I believe, has created an opportunity, allowing our industry, allowing our distributors to reach new heights. When the numbers come out for the direct sales for the network marketing industry, be ready to be shocked. Ready to be shocked to know that we would have broken all records in the history of network marketing, number one. I mean, I'll give an example of Eric Worre. I mean, I've been with Eric for 7 years now, I think 6 or 7 years, every year in Vegas at the GoPro, right? That person, amazing human being, is building a studio for his GoPro recruiting mastery in Las Vegas. So he's going to spend $20 million to build a studio to serve the network marketing community. Why? Why do you think he's doing that? Because the numbers are going down? No, because the numbers are hitting new highs. It's called initiative. It's called serving your community. How are you serving your community differently than you were doing before COVID-19? Because saying no, saying it's too hard, I don't understand technology is easy. But what will keep you going? Okay, good question. So I've got 2 more questions for you. How hard are you working for your money? If you're new in this industry, if you're new in a business, work hard. There's nothing wrong. There's no shame in working hard. This part we all know pretty well. Because that's what we have learned from our societies, cultures, academic schools, and life, mostly. Work hard for money. But there's more. How hard is your money working for you today? See, when I started doing real estate in Dubai, I would go to golf courses where people would be hitting a hole and they would be like, I lost a couple of millions there. And I used to wonder when I wasn't a millionaire, how the heck are they making money while playing golf? Right? Wealth is created. So how hard is your money working for you? That's a good question to ask. In network marketing, this happens through building enough leaders who are trained, educated, who can work independently. We call that passive income. So that's wealth creation. When you create that wealth, what do? Buy 4 cars. Again, I don't have anything against cars. Dubai is a car haven, by the way. So I had the BMW and the Range Rover, you name it. So these were the cars I had. I've driven almost all of these cars, but a car is a liability. Or is your money, is the money that you've made really working hard for you in your industry and outside your industry? How hard is your money working for you? Because that would determine how far you would go and how much money you would make. So what I would encourage all of you to do, and I'll leave you a link over here in the chat as well. I invite all of you, and you can share this because it's free, 100% free, to a 7-day challenge on becoming unstoppable. So it will take you to our website, go fill in your particulars. Every day I'm going to send you an email, every day. 7 days, that email takes 3 minutes to read, 3 minutes. Over 20% even make it to the 7th day. Okay? So I'm going to send you that so that I invite you on how you can become unstoppable. Some of the things I did to become unstoppable, simple homework, that wouldn't take you more than 5 minutes a day that you can subscribe to and then get some more information from me on that. So I'll leave you a link. Other than that, if you need a copy of my book, get in touch with Gary, figure me out. I mean, leave me a message somewhere. Me or someone from my team will help you get a copy. If you are in Kuala Lumpur, I'm in Kuala Lumpur right now. I'm not going anywhere any soon. So we'll figure out how to get you a copy of my book as well, in case you're interested in that. And one of the reasons I wrote the Unstoppable Millionaire book is because of the fact that I can only travel to those many countries and inspire those many people. But everything in my book is about how I became a millionaire and the formulas and the techniques that work for me, from mindset to wealth creation to the industries where you can actually make money actively and passively, is all mentioned in that book. Over 6,000 copies sold worldwide, and we're going on pretty strong with that. So what we would do is, Gary, I'm going to pass it back to you. I'm going to stop screen sharing so you can see me as well on a bigger screen. Gary, so I'm going to pass it back to you, and any questions, I'll be happy to get those answered.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Tahir. Those information that you shared are just simply amazing. Let me just, okay. Yeah. So, you know, Tahir, just now you mentioned about entrepreneurship, right? And I like that idea that you talked about how many people, especially in network marketing, actually just drop off because it's so easy to get in. I like that. The reason is because, I mean, I personally also have been involved in other entrepreneurship programs apart from network marketing. And I'm very sure you will agree with me that in the traditional business, it's so, number one, it's so difficult to start. There are so many things that you have to, it's just like, can you imagine? It's just like, if you want to drive a car in the traditional business, you literally have to build your own car before you can actually drive it. Am I right to say that? But yes, in network marketing, the car is already built for you. And all you need to do is jump in, start the car, and step on the accelerator, right? And maybe it's also part a blessing and a curse because it's so easy. People tend to give up easily. But when you realize how easy it is, I think it somehow will give a lot of people more power to go out there and share with people, especially those who are budding entrepreneurs, those who really have the entrepreneur blood in them. Am I right to say this?
Yes, absolutely. I want to elaborate real quick on that.
Yes.
In a traditional business, because I've done a couple of them and I'm doing a couple of them now as well, there is product, inventory, logistics, approvals. There's so much work. And this, depending how big you want your business to be, not only does it take maybe 18, 20 hours of your time a day when you're setting it up, there's no guarantee that the business will take off.
Yes.
So the beauty of a network marketing business, especially for people who do not know where to start from, and they only have that much money, is you start from there. Because everything is done for you, including all the trainings. You know, one of the most abused industries on education is network marketing, because there is tremendous content given to you absolutely free. In most cases, you know, no one would do that in any other event for SMEs or traditional businesses or elsewhere. Right. This industry does that for you, and yet a lot of us take that for granted too, by the way. Yes.
And I like the description from Eric Worre that he says that, you know, network marketing is a self-development program first, disguised in a business outfit. Am I right? Because absolutely, especially in network marketing, somehow you need to develop yourself before you start to really see the results coming in. It's all about building yourself first, then business second. So, agreed. Yeah, truly amazing. And you know what, Tahir, the other point that maybe you may want to also elaborate, and I think it's good if it comes from your mouth, because you are the key speaker today, is that the other beautiful part of network marketing is that for certain reasons, if you are serious in the business, I won't say your upline or your sponsor or your upline, the guys on top are obligated to help you, because the system is such that the more they help you, the more they succeed. Now, this is something you sometimes, if you are doing traditional business, who is going, I mean, you don't expect your competitors to help you, right? Yeah, can you elaborate about that one particular benefit of network marketing?
Yes. So in network marketing, the system is designed in a way. I'll give you two comparisons. I'll compare it with business, and I'll compare it with corporate. And I'll give you both examples. So imagine, let's say you started McDonald's. Let's say you bought a franchise for McDonald's, and your neighbor bought a franchise for Burger King, or someone opened a Burger King next door, right? So McDonald's burgers, Burger King burger. Now, you're not going to go to Burger King and say, hey guys, can you give me a couple of customers and some advice on what I could do? You'd be like literally neck to neck in competition. So that's your traditional business, first of all. So in a traditional business, you would do that because it becomes your competition. In network marketing, based on your organization, you will have a hierarchy of people in your organization helping you for two reasons. One is because the more successful you become, the more successful they become. In a traditional business, if the sales of Burger King goes up, your sales goes down. Forget going up. It won't even be there, because 10 customers who came, if Burger King took 9 of them, you're left with 1. Your sales goes down. If Burger King does not exist over there, you'd have all 10 customers. You're following me, right? Yes. So the competition is not only competition, but fierce. Like, how do I beat you? What kind of offers I can come out with? So that's in network marketing, we don't need to worry about that. So that's number one. So there is a group of people helping you. So that's traditional business. Now, for those who do corporate, or for those people who look at corporate and say, oh, is this one of those pyramid schemes, right? So I'm like, yeah, well, must be a corporate world where, because in a corporate, the pyramid is more visible, right? So in a corporate, what would happen? Majority of the employees are here, right? And then let's say supervisors, and then managers, and then a director, and then a CEO, right? typical style. So what's going on? Is everyone over here helping everyone to get here? Is everyone here helping everyone to get here? Usually no. Now, I don't have anything against corporates. They build, some of them are billion-dollar companies, but usually the corporate world is survival of the fittest, right? Because if you're not, you're out.
Yes.
Only those many people make it, right? Now, when you look at network marketing, again, you look at your organization, it's different. Doesn't matter what your background is. If someone is in your team, you're out there helping them. First, helping someone anyways makes you feel great. Just remember that. It's an amazing feeling. But along with that feeling of feeling great, what if you got paid for it? Would that be nice too? So I would feel awesome and great, and I would get paid extra because I got someone in my organization become independent. If I've got $1 million earner, what do you think happens to my income, right? So these are the two examples. Corporate $1 billion, right? Your competition franchises that charge you millions of dollars to get franchise. And I'll give you an example of that. In network marketing, you realize that it complements you in either way. And that's one of the reasons why we build these amazing, amazing communities of groups that grow together. And more, by the way, network marketing companies are now, more and more traditional companies are looking at selling products through network marketing as well, by the way, because they love this culture and concept of team growth.
Amazing. Yeah. So this is something that the world needs to hear more, especially with the changes of environment, the changes in how business are transacted nowadays. Yeah, I mean, I've been telling a lot of people, you won't be surprised one day a popular car manufacturer, let's say BMW, were to say, oh, because of rising property costs worldwide, because of social distancing, physical contact, and because of, you know, probably manpower or internet marketing availability, they may just simply say that, okay, Tahir, you get my car, you buy the BMW, we are going to give you a distributor ID. And then when you recommend a friend, we are going to pay you on that. So in other words, not only you buy the car, you somehow become our marketing. We literally outsource the marketing to distributors. Can you imagine that? And I won't be surprised this will be happening very soon. I heard Tesla is starting something like this already.
Well, part of that already happens. I'm not so sure about Malaysia, but back in Dubai and in America, we have automotive car dealers exclusive to a particular region. Geographically, that region belongs to them. And then they've got the agents. It's not exactly the same model with like the word of mouth, but partly it is a word of mouth. And eventually, who knows, with time, people would say, too bad, we do not want these big fancy showrooms. You drive a car, you love it, you talk to your neighbors, we'll pay you something. Yeah.
and sales will even become even more faster than that, faster than people going to a showroom and just entertained by one guy, right?
Yes.
Amazing. Okay, Tahir, we have some questions that are flowing in right now. Let me ask my co-host, Jeffrey. Are you there, Jeffrey?
Hello. Hi, Tahir.
Hey, hi, Jeffrey. Tahir, meet Jeffrey, one of my top leaders in Kangen Power team.
Okay.
Hi, Jeffrey.
Hi, Tahir. Learned so much from you today.
Tahir,
All right.
any question on your side there?
On Zoom here so far, I have not captured any question yet. Do you have captured any question on our Facebook site?
On Facebook, there's one. So Tahir, this is from Romy from the Philippines. And he mentioned, he says, the number one challenge in the Philippines is, because he is from the Philippines, and he says most traditional Filipinos wanted to see, okay, now, you know, our business is Kangen, right? So
yes,
one of the ways that our distributors actually present the Kangen product is to show the water demonstration. I'm not sure if you have seen one before.
I've seen one. I've seen one.
Yeah, I've also sent you the link, right? So and they are so used, okay, and they are so used to belly, face to face kind of presentation. And as you know, with the COVID-19 that hit, there wasn't even a backup plan because there was no like a 30, 60, 90 days preparation. It just come overnight. So these people are in a dilemma. Although there are a lot of people, frankly speaking, there are also a lot of people that are thriving because they somehow, before the COVID-19, they were already on the internet, they were doing things differently. But what is your suggestion to the people who are really stuck right now? Because their old way of doing is not working. I mean, it's not that it's not working, but they can't do it, right? They can't get into somebody's home right now.
So is Romy stuck? Is that what he's feeling?
I don't think Romy is one of the guy right here. I can see him. I think it's more his people.
Okay, got it. So he's asking for his people. All right. So anyone who has any kind of team, here's the first thing you need to ask yourself as a team leader. What activities am I doing since March 2020 that I was not doing before? Okay, so ask that question, and I've already covered that. And I'll give you some ideas, and you have to think outside the box.
Right.
Whatever training you got before March, I'm not saying all of that is useless, but a lot of that has to change. So the first thing that you need to change in any situation is, guess what? You. The first thing you need to change in any situation is you. I don't know how Zoom works. Figure it out. So the unstoppable digitally is at a point today where it has never been before. The internet has been here since 1995, but the unstoppable wasn't. Why? Because events got canceled. So much of that got canceled. I just gave you an example of Eric Warre's GoPro recruiting mastery. 15,000 people in Las Vegas in a room. Not happening. Canceled. Guess what he does? He spends $20 million to build a studio where he'll do what Tony Robbins did. So around the world, people will join huge Zoom 360 degrees and state-of-the-art technology. He's going to spend $20 million. Now, I don't want you to spend $20 million. You may not even have the money, but in terms of activities, what can you do more than what you're doing? Here are some examples. I can't meet people. Sure, you can. You need to increase your WhatsApp usage. If they are like I know in Philippines, with their SIM card, they get the Facebook Messenger for free. Go there. Viber in Philippines comes with your SIM card. I know these things already. Go, approach them right there because it's free. A lot of them would be there. How many groups did you join on Facebook? Those groups went up when people were locked down. How many of them were health groups? Oh, see, what's missing is not you can't meet people. What's missing is you not growing. Because once you start to grow, you're like, oh, wow, I could do that. Yeah, you could. How about having addresses? This is going to be costly, but could you imagine if you were giving some samples to some people? You take a 500 ml bottle, and if you have one of those Kangen machines with a nice leaflet, send it out. I mean, in Malaysia, Lala Move within PJ, KL city area is about 10 bucks. 10 bucks, 12 bucks, done. 50 people are going to get that. Wow. You know how innovative that is? You know how many of them are doing it? No one is doing it. So what I want you to do is I want you to go become innovative. Challenge the norms because the norms are gone. You understand that, right? So if till February, your 7-figure income earner told you have 2 physical meetings, that knowledge is not valid anymore. Make sense? And I gave you some tips. These are just some of the tips. That means if you need to sit down and learn how social media works, do it. I mean, Gary, aren't you doing that right now? You've invited me on a platform where I'm adding value absolutely free of charge. Yeah. So you can absorb whatever you can absorb, but that's what you need to teach your team. 6 months have gone by since COVID is out. People are talking about the second wave, another lockdown, all of that stuff. Do not be dependent for your income based on a situation that is out of your control. I'll repeat that. Do not base your income on a situation that is out of your control. Because if there's a second lockdown, what's going to happen? I mean, Philippines is doing pretty bad though. Indonesia is doing pretty bad with their lockdown. So what can you do about the situation? Nothing except innovate. You can't change the situation. So stop saying that story, or stop validating that story. It's okay, I understand if COVID is there. No, it's not okay. It's not okay for you not to make money when I know people who are doing 7-figure. I know a person in direct selling industry 2 months ago, he was doing about 320,000 US dollars a month. Try that for an example, right? Now, I'm not saying everyone is going to do that, but he out-innovated COVID-19. He outperformed in COVID-19. And there's so many more out there. I've got 7-figure income earners in the direct sales industry doing that. So if you get creative enough as a team, as a community, and then take that message and duplicate that, bingo, jackpot. Teach them, give them a free Zoom class. Let's show you how Zoom works, because the money is on Zoom right now, as an example. So, and then there are many, many innovative ways to do that. So first of all, if you're feeling stuck, the only reason you are stuck is because you haven't grown.
Yes.
You see? Well, once you outperform the problem, which is what I like the word challenge, once you become bigger than the challenge, you grow. It doesn't matter. I've spoken to more people in COVID-19 than ever before. I've went shopping. When I say shopping, I mean investment shopping, because everything is on sale, by the way, in terms of investments, right? Now, in terms of growth, I've had more companies and associations and group invite me than ever before. I spoke to 7,000 people. I usually wouldn't be speaking to 7,000 people physically if COVID wasn't there. But in the last 5 months, I've spoken to over 7,000 people simply because it was easier through a Zoom call than fly over to Turkey or be in France or go to South Africa or Philippines or anywhere else, right? So get innovative. And leaders, if your team is feeling stuck, sit down with them, because the rules of engagement have changed. If you don't change, you will feel the pain. Because remember, the marketplace is a marketplace. It doesn't care how you feel. It only cares how you perform. And it pays to the people who perform, right?
Thank you, Tahir. That was really an eye-opening, and I like to re-emphasize that word that you say. The biggest change must be you, because if you as a leader don't change, then your people will have a big problem. And I think coming from what you are saying, Tahir, I think today, compared with many years ago, change is actually a very much more easier process, because anything that you need to know is all in front of you in Google, on YouTube. Like you mentioned, how to use a Zoom. Go to Google, Dr. Google, how to use a Zoom. Everything is there, So in other words, there is no excuse for anybody to say they cannot change. But of course, there are also a lot of people who says that their clients, their customers, or their distributors cannot accept that change. But it's not about whether that person accept it or not. The question is whether you are doing it or not. Am I right?
Correct. And let me tell you something else very important, Gary. That's a real good point here. Kodak and Nokia did not accept change. They're out of business. We are getting into a world economy where there's a huge retail outlet news out there from US, where record number of retail outlets filed for bankruptcy. You know which retail outlets these are? These are those retail outlets that had huge physical stores, JCPenney's and many others. But what they did not have was an online presence. They did not accept change. They're out of business. So understand, so for me, when someone tells me in my business coaching or even in network marketing, oh, but then I have those people, they can't accept change. I'm like, yeah, but if they don't accept change, then they will be out of business. I mean, my mom learned how to use Skype and all those a couple of years ago so that she can talk to me, because that's how the world has changed. It doesn't matter what age you are. Things are, through the click of a button. So that's where you have to spend some time to educate them and make them understand. If they don't accept that change, they will be out of business.
That's true. And I think the good thing about this change is, to be very frank, right now with one Zoom call, we can have people from how many I recorded just now, easily 15 countries are already here. Can you imagine to get this type of audience and to reach out those days? It's always, the number of hours we have to spend in the airport, not taking into consideration the amount of time that we are sitting in the airplane. So these changes, to me, I believe it's a good thing. And I think, Tahir, you will agree with me, is that because of COVID-19, people are more willing to accept the change compared to before that. Am I right? Before that, people are still having that option of, no, I still want to do the physical. But when COVID-19 hit, it's like either you do it or there's no option anymore. Am I right?
Yeah, either you do it or you die.
Yeah, you die, literally.
I see, one of the things I learned in entrepreneurship is, and the reason I talk like this, which is very straightforward, is because the market is very straightforward. The market doesn't sugarcoat failures. It throws you out of the business, right?
Yes.
While there are so many things that are not okay with COVID, there's so many things that are okay. And I encourage you to look at that. I encourage you to look at the positivity when people can't commute and travel, how much money they're going to save because they can't commute and travel, and what other opportunities they're Googling right now. They're looking at Google ads and so many other opportunities. Why are they not looking at your business? Because no one reached them till now, because they're waiting for you. Simple as that.
Okay, Tahir, what do you think about collaboration? Do you think it's a good idea during times like this that people start to collaborate because of, things just change overnight, and you have certain people who are expert in probably social media, internet marketing. Some people have a very good platform, good products, good opportunity. Do you encourage collaboration, Tahir?
Oh, absolutely. You see, what technology has done is it has allowed you to collaborate to a point that has never happened in human history before at that level. Because if you are collaborating with someone else, and I'll give you an example on collaboration. When you collaborate with someone else, remember, always come out with a win-win situation. Whether they know or don't know, it's okay. Come out with a win-win situation because you know better, right? Because one day they will know. So collaborate in a way where it becomes a win-win situation. And in that collaboration, your job is to add value. You saw in my introduction video, add value that your customers, your team will look at you and say, I can't believe how does my upline, my team leader, the company does that. They're like, that's just insane value. It will only happen with collaborations. So collaborate without, I'll tell you why a lot of people don't collaborate. Because when they are collaborating, the first thing they start thinking is, what do I get?
What's in it for me? They are always,
Correct.
what's in it for me?
That's the wrong question. The right question is, how do I serve? What do I give? See, too many people out there on the digital media, on the social media, out there prospecting, hoping that they sign up. No, you're there to just give and give to a point where they're like, I'm completely wowed by it. Now, that will take a lot of faith. It will take a lot of effort, knowledge, education, work. But once you get this right, and you come from a point of giving and not from a point of getting, don't get me wrong, you should know your compensation plan, income plan, strategies, and all that stuff. But you come with an attitude of giving. And your prospects more than ever, your customers more than ever can smell you, can sense you. There's no hiding. Huh? They're not like, let me trick you into buying that. No, we don't live in that world anymore. Gone are the days when you could do that. Okay, they can smell you. So if that smell is genuine, coming from the heart, They will even buy from you, even if they don't want it, because they're so much in love with you, They're like, I need to do something with this person. I need to be in this guy's business. That would be a nice way to do it.
And to add to the fact that you mentioned that the whole world has so much money that is going around. There will never be a day where there's lack of money. So why not just all win together? That's the best way to approach this whole thing. I mean, yeah, you are right. It's all the mindset thing, It's really a mindset thing. It's all coming together and win together. Everybody has their own share, right? The world, full abundance of money. You just mentioned with your stats over there, how many billions of dollars are being paid out every single day. Can you imagine that?
So that's on money. I'll give you one more for Kangen water, right?
Yes.
Think of anyone ever drinking water. And I know in Malaysia, you do a lot of business around food as well, right? So does Indonesia and Philippines as well, or Singapore, where I've built networks before. Why are they not drinking Kangen water? Each time you see someone in a restaurant having water, there was a huge shortage of water in Selangor area a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
Where were you guys? Good question, right? So when you're sitting in a restaurant, what are they drinking? Why not Kangen water? I mean, you of all the network marketing companies in the world has the easiest product to sell. Water. I mean, I'm drinking water right now.
So you need to be drinking Kangen soon.
Exactly.
Yeah. So actually, it's all a mindset thing, Tahir. It's all a mindset thing. It's like, Tahir, that story of the two shoe salesmen that went to Africa.
Yeah.
And one seeing nobody wears shoes, and he says there's no market. Boss, send me back. And the other guy that says, boss, I want to be here for the next 2 years because nobody wears shoes. This is the market for me. So the same situation, but seeing from two different perspectives, two different mindset, gives you two different results.
Absolutely true. And mindset is not overrated, guys. Mindset, 80% of your business is psychology. I teach this. I teach this to CEOs of companies. I teach this to some very important companies as well. 80% of your business is psychology. You know why? Because if your psychology is not right, if your mindset is not right, if your mindset is scarcity, no one has money, no one is going to buy Kangen water, it's so expensive, blah, 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 that whole nonsense story we keep telling ourselves. 80% is psychology. Your body will do exactly what the psychology says. I don't have a market like the guy for the shoes, same with your water. Or if your mindset is, why is this guy not drinking? Next time you go to a restaurant, and I know you all do, it doesn't matter which country you come from, what water are they drinking? Just out of curiosity, whatever it is, but at least think. Because when you start thinking, why are they not on Kangen water? Why are they not? Enough times, you will be like, okay, this is enough. We need to get them drinking this water. You know how many people have so many diseases and all that while they're stuck at home?
Yep.
Why are they not on Kangen water? So these are the questions based on the psychology. But if you lose psychologically, then we feel, oh, such a hard business. Oof, I've called so many prospects. Because your psychology is not in the right place. Because if your psychology is in the right place, then the next thing that happens is, you're like, this is fun business. I work 10 hours, I'll work 18 hours. I'm full-time, I'm part-time. I had a 9-to-5 job, but I'm enjoying this business. You know why? Your psychology is in the right place. Because you have an attitude of serving and giving.
Right.
That's the difference. Yeah.
Makes a lot of difference. Okay. Jeffrey, are there any questions so far while we are talking?
Yes, we have one very good question from Mike C. Mr. Tahir, if you were an energetic distributor, what will be your strategy to create wealth in 90 days?
So if I was an energetic distributor, what's my strategy to create wealth in 90 days? All right. So the first thing is that, presuming, let's say today is my day one.
Yes.
Okay. This might be a long answer though. Okay. So take some notes. So if this is my day one today, now I know better because I've been in the direct sales industry for 23 years now. I wasn't like this 23 years ago, but this It will save you a lot of time. So on my day one, the first thing that I'm going to do is I need to figure out the system. Don't get me wrong, the product is important. Don't get me wrong, the compensation plan is important. The support is important. System is a part of the support. I need to understand what the system is. A lot of us, when we get started, we are too busy focused on the product. But if I want to create, and I want to build a network in 90 days, and I've done sales of over $1 million in direct sales and outside direct sales in 90 days, $1 million. Yeah, not selling $10,000, $50,000 worth of products. It's $500, $400 worth of product, or even less. How? System, right? The first thing I'm going to do is, what is the system? The easier the system, the quicker your team will duplicate. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at like a 30-page book, which goes on the top shelf in my home. I get excited on day one, goes on the top shelf, and I'm done with it. Who has the time to look for 30 pages? Most of us won't even read page one, right? So it has to be easily duplicatable. So that's the first thing. Number one, system. Number two, because I know better today, is most of us go and look for people who we know we can easily influence. We're like, that guy will do this business because I say so. Hey, here, open your mouth, drink the water, sign up. Right? What you're looking are people better than you. These are the difficult ones. These are the ones who are not going to give you the appointment because they're busy, their life is busy. These are the other ones where you would need a lot of help from the upline to go and meet them because they're better than you. But these are the kind of people you're looking for. Most of us don't look for these people because they are too hard. So we go for the easy ones. While you may see some growth, but it doesn't duplicate because they're not ambitious enough, business-minded enough to build the business. So number one, system. Number two, look for people who are better than you. Now, I'm not giving you anything that's easy to do, right? Because your question is such. Your question is, how do I create wealth? Wealth is created when you get people better than you in your business. So if you had 10 Garys right now in your business, how would that be for you in a business? Wouldn't that be cool? What would it take to get someone like Gary in a business? Are there people like Gary out there in the world? Yes, there are. Who are ambitious, driven, business-minded, maybe are looking for an opportunity right now, right? But they're hard to get. So once you've got them, give them all the support you possibly can. 90 days is momentum creation. So usually when we get started, we always talk about creating momentum. Network marketing loves momentum. Always remember that. It is different than a traditional business where you open the shop, no one knows you. Eventually people will start coming after 1 year, someone knows you. This is not that business. In network marketing, you have to create momentum. And I'll give you an example. When your neighbor looks at you, when your family looks at you and says, oh, something is different about you today, it means you're not normal anymore, by the society standards. Because you're so driven, you are so obsessed with the product, with the system, that if you believe that anyone and everyone needs it, that's, by the way, what Coca-Cola believed. That unhealthy drink, that's what they believed. Everyone needs it. Look where they are today. Yeah. So, and how much more for Kangen water? So that's what you want to do in 90 days. Against the long thing, but just a quick one. Look for people who are better than you. Hard to get. Now that doesn't mean ignore everyone else. Okay. That means you still go after everyone else. But your main objective would be looking for people who are better than you. How do you know that? Because they're going to give you a hard time. They're going to make fun of you maybe. They're going to say, what nonsense are you doing? I've gone through all that. And in 90 days, here's what I can guarantee you. Guarantee, in 90 days, if you can go through 1,000 rejections, you will become an amateur in the network marketing industry. Ouch.
Many people want the result, but don't want the rejection.
Many people want to go to paradise, but they don't want to die, right?
Don't want to die, yeah. That's true.
Same thing. But that's what it's going to take. By the way, what I just said to you, I was told this when I was 19 years old by someone who now runs over $1 billion company. I met this person back in Dubai, and he said, Tahir, if you want to make it big, look for those 1,000 rejections. Now, that's a very big number. Usually we don't talk about that. Again, my answer is not to scare you guys, but the question is, how do I create wealth? The question is not about how can I make an extra $100 or $1,000. Now, by the way, that's still good if that's what you want to get started with. But wealth is a very big word, but that's what it takes to create wealth. So I don't mean to scare any one of you. You don't need to do that stuff, but that's what it takes. Do I know people who have done this? Yes. So if you logically think that is impossible, a human being can do that, you're wrong. I know people who would invite 200 people. I know people who would invite people for a presentation when their warm list is exhausted. They will go in their team, take their list and start inviting them. They're so obsessed with the performance, with the attitude of giving and serving. That's what you need to do in 90 days. If you can go out and take your 10, 20 out there and like, give me your names. Oh, I'll do it for you. And you will feel burnt out, and you should feel burnt out because it's your first 90 days. And your first 90 days can start tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow is my day one. Let's do it for 90 days. Let's go through the burnt out. Wouldn't you feel burnt out anyways when you have the money gone and the bill is still pending?
Yes.
So why don't you use the burnt off in a positive, constructive way? Hope that answers the question.
Yeah, amazing. I think Tahir, the whole idea is what I use a terminology called all-out massive action. I once did a training and I told my people, don't get me yes, don't get me the yeses, because get yes is like people are programmed that they don't want to do because they know very well that probably every 10 people they see, 9 is going to be a no. So I told them, don't get me yes. Your whole objective right now is to go out and get me no's. And seriously, I want you to get the no's. I want you to give me names of people that says no to you. Because if you can accept people telling you no and you're okay with it, I think that's also a mindset thing, right? If you're okay with asking people for the appointment, the presentation, or telling people your business and able to accept that answer no, I think not like what your title is you become unstoppable. What is worse than that, right? A no, that's all. It's a no. What's so big deal about it, right?
Which is interesting because I always ask a question: how do you defeat someone who doesn't give up? You realize you cannot. So if you can keep on going when people make fun of you, when they say this is ridiculous, when they call you a scam, when they call the industry a scam because of a better knowledge out there, and you're still going on, you're still educating them, you're still serving them, you're still keeping your cool. All of this is hard and you're still going on. You become unstoppable. And once you become unstoppable, you will, Napoleon Hill says in Think and Grow Rich, once you reach a point where you start attracting money, your mind starts to wonder, where was all this money hiding? This became true for me when I became a millionaire at the age of 27, 10 years. And I was like, and then my quickest million was in 6 hours, 6 hours, quickest million. And I'm like, it took me 10 years to make the first one. Where was all this money hiding, huh? You have changed. You've reached a point where you've started attracting the elite, the legends, the champions, because you've become one. And that's the power of no's, by the way. So that's what you're talking about.
Amazing, amazing. Tahir, in your own words, you just now mentioned a little bit, but I want to go slightly deeper, and maybe from your own words, you can actually describe. You know, there are some people who come into network marketing selling the products. Nothing wrong with it, making 1,000, 10,000, 50,000. But our topic today is very well defined as creating wealth. And I know for the fact that making money and creating wealth, although it's a little bit to a lot of people, it looks like the same thing, but I know it's different. And I believe you agree with that, right? Creating wealth. In your own words, Tahir, how do you define creating wealth, especially in the context of network marketing?
Right.
How do you define that?
So if I join Kangen Water or the energetic team today, majority of you in the first week, in the first 10 days, would look at me, presuming you don't know who I am or anything, right? I'm just your neighbor, your next guy, right? You'd look and you'd laugh at me. You'd be like, look at this guy. He talks about creating $1 million in sales and he's got 4 people in his business, right? Why? Because creating wealth and earning an income because you will get the next rank are completely different things. I'm not saying the other one is not important, but the rules of engagement are completely different. I'm going to look for those 5, 10 people out there, and anyone else is just a bonus. But my focus is only on those 5, 10 who are better than me. That's all I'm looking at. So in my first week, 10 days, 2 weeks, you'll see nothing much. You're like, what, this guy's talking about $1 million, but then the duplication starts. So work network marketing like network marketing. I always tell this to people who like doing sales, which are very few people though. They're like, oh, forget the people. I cannot teach them. I don't have the patience. I'll go and just sell the water or the machine. That's easy for me. Yeah, but that's not where you get the big bucks. You see, you get the big bucks for doing the big bucks stuff, for doing the big bucks activity, for taking all that you need to take from the team that comes in, because all 5 fingers are not the same. All 5 people are not the same. You'll get all kinds of people in your team. You want to create wealth, that's what you do. What am I looking at? I don't care about your background. I'm looking if someone is hungry. And I'll give them all the reason to give up in 7 days. 7 days, I'll give you all the reasons. I'll ask you to build a list. So if I signed up, my first job in my core group, again, this is for the elite on creating wealth. That's what Gary is asking, not making an extra buck. On creating wealth, I'm like, let's put 100 people together. You know, I had people who told me, I'm not going to put 100 people, I'm going to call 100 people. I love that. I'll put a lot more than 100 people. Most of us wouldn't put 100 people in a lifetime in a business. If I asked you, show me your contact list, you would be like, I don't know what you're talking about. so most of us wouldn't even do that, right? So yet there are people who do that in a day. See, so the work you're going to put for creating wealth is completely different than the work you're going to put for earning an income. Again, I don't have a problem with you earning an income, but decide. And something else I learned from someone who has made over $22 million in network marketing, who lost a husband, who lost a child, a woman network marketer. She said something very powerful. And she said that all excuses are equal.
Wow.
I don't care about your excuse.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, whether you're right or wrong, it doesn't matter. If your excuse is stopping you from going to the next level, get rid of that excuse. Simple.
And like you say, the marketplace don't care about your excuse. The banks, more than any other people, don't care about your excuses. You got no money to pay, your house is gone, your car is gone.
Forget the bank, Gary. Your grocery store doesn't care about your excuse. When was the last time you got a bread and a couple of eggs? You're like, it's okay. You know, my sales was bad. They don't care.
They don't care. Yes, that's true. That's true. So what you are saying, Tahir, is that creating wealth in your context is about, especially in the context of network marketing, is about going there and getting the people to do the business, not just about selling the product, right?
No. If you're selling the product, you become a salesperson. I always tell network marketers, if you want to do sales, go and do properties, go and do insurance, you'll end up making more money in sales. But if you're in a network market, it's like, it is like sitting in a Ferrari, not knowing how to drive it. Sitting in a Ferrari and trying to drive it are like riding a horse. It's just wrong. You know, sure, it will go somewhere, but you won't maximize on what that industry, that plan is designed to do. You know, so I would encourage you to work the plan.
Yes. What I always tell my guys and my team is basically, you know, hockey and golf, both have the stick, right? The golf clubs, although it looks a bit different, but can you imagine that hockey champion comes to the golf game and say that I want to play the golf game with a hockey mindset and the hockey rules? I mean, you can hit the ball maybe, but you're going to lose and you're going to feel depressed, disappointed, you know, your effort is just going to go down the drain because you're not playing the right game. So guys, you all have been hearing so much from me. I purposely want to get another person from another world, not from Kangen, to tell you, but can you all see that what I've been talking about all this while is the exact same thing? Everybody in this industry talks the same thing. So I want you all to know that when you are playing the golf game, make sure you are playing with the golf rules and the golf mindset. Thank you, Tahir, for reiterating that part to our guys again. Okay.
My pleasure.
Yes. So Tahir, coming from a coach yourself, a life coach, a sales coach, can you just share with the people here how important it is to have a coach, especially in the network marketing business?
It's a life and death. I'm not even exaggerating. It is life and death. Look, if you are happy to work 10, 12 hours a day, after 1 year, you realize half of your work didn't matter. Sure, but why would you do that? And I'll give you one more example. If you salaried people who have a job, let's say you work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Okay, so that is already 5 days a week times 4 weeks. That's already 160 hours in a month. We're supposed to get 10,000 ringgit or $2,000. But after putting 160 hours, let's say your boss only gives you $500. You would be like, you'd be very mad. You're like, hey, what is this? Yeah, that's what we do in network marketing without a coach. Why would you do that? You can do that in the corporate world because I understand why someone will not coach you because you might be their boss. But in the direct sales, in network marketing, you don't want to do that. There's a better way. In fact, leverage on other people's time. Again, they could be your upline. If they're not your upline, they're outside the industry. Hire them. I see a lot of network marketers who make little money and they make $2,000 and they go and spend $3,000. Why would you do that? That's a bad habit. Don't do that. She has paid $2,000 and still don't have a coach. Take $1,000 or whatever you can take and get a coach. So your two can become $4, $5, $10, $20,000. See, think big. Yeah. So that's how important it is. It will completely define everything. So I've spent time with probably over 1,000 people in network marketing who have made over 10 million US dollars per annum. Over 1,000 people, right? None of them I've met, including those who are 22, 23 years old. And yes, there are network marketers who are 20, 23 years old who've made that kind of money. All of them have a coach. All of them. At least in this modern era, they all do.
Amazing. And I think, Tahir, coming from a person that wears an entrepreneur hat and an entrepreneur mindset, I think as an entrepreneur, most of us have this way of looking at things that, like for example, getting a coach, let's say, I don't know, let's say getting a coach is, let's say, $10,000, let's say. And having invest 10,000 and you make 100,000. The unfortunate thing with a lot of people is they don't look at the 100,000, they saw the 10,000. And that 10,000 become their biggest challenge and become their biggest hindrance to their biggest success in life. Do you agree with me on that?
Yes, and it's a good point. A lot of network marketers who make that money are too busy protecting it because of scarcity mindset. They don't say, same is true with millionaires, by the way. If you're making $1 million, that's a good lifestyle in Malaysia. But if you're in America, that is not a good lifestyle. I mean, depending which state you live in. So why are you busy protecting that money? Because guess what happens if you're only protecting that money? 10 then becomes 9, 9 then becomes 7. What I would encourage you to do is whatever that money is, spend. So you can multiply and attract a lot more money. That's the abundance mindset. The scarcity mindset, you spend your lifetime learning in schools and colleges, unfortunately. But the abundance mindset is where the growth is. Yeah, true.
So yeah, just like what Grant Cardone talks about, you know, in the 10x rule, and he talks about if you are just hogging money, then it will become lesser and lesser every day. Money is meant to work. Like just now, your PowerPoint presentation is right at the spot. How hard is your money working for you? And that's the reason why people sometimes do not see a bigger picture, because they're not looking at the bigger picture. They are just looking at what they have right now, not multiplying it. And I think network marketing, it's a very how should I say, it's a very interesting industry because it gives a lot of leverage. And of course, just like in any business, in any career, we definitely need a guidance, a coach to really point us to the right direction. Yeah.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. And guys, all of you in any capacity, from a free YouTube video subscription to Tony Robbins, to all the way literally hiring a coach in a group, on one-on-one, go for it with whatever budget allows you to do. And look at your budget and say, why the heck I can't get that guy? Elevate yourself to the next level of income and get that coach, right? Because it would be worth. See, one of the things you would love about coaches is once you learn it, you can never unlearn it. That's the beauty of coaching. David Beckham, football, right? What happens? I mean, he had coaches to become David Beckham that he has. He can never unbecome the footballer. That's this. The same is true about network marketing or entrepreneurship in general, or wealth coaches in general. The reason I'm coaching today is because I've been in the room with the billionaires of this world, which is a hard thing to be in the same room as them, as VIP, as normal attendee, depending on what my budget was when I was starting and where I am today. But I was always there to a point where I am a coach today, and I coach companies and individuals, millionaires and billion-dollar companies today because of that. And everyone needs it. If a millionaire needs a coach, they don't need a coach because they have $1 million. They got $1 million because they had a coach. Always remember that.
Amazing, amazing. I like the way you put that. Okay, so finally, Jeffrey, are there still any more questions from the floor?
We have no more questions from the floor. That's the last question from Maxi.
Guys, I give you a last 5 minutes chance. Not every day you can have a success coach like Tahir Hussain here. If you still have questions, you are feeling stuck. I know some of y'all have been calling me and telling me all your concerns, your issue. If you have any questions for Tahir Hussain, I give you the last 5 minutes. Put it at the chat bottom so that Jeffrey here can be able to ask that question to Tahir. And while that is being done, Tahir, I'd like to thank you again for today's session. You have been such an amazing speaker. Just before, if there's anybody that has any other question, Tahir, if somebody were to ask you, okay, let's say, Tahir, what is your greatest advice? What is your greatest advice to people who, let's say, they are doing okay? It's not that they are not doing okay. They are doing okay. But if they want to raise their game to another level in their network marketing industry, okay, and not just raise their game, but to have sustainable results, what would be your advice to these people?
Okay, so a generic answer is to raise your game in network marketing. First, and like you mentioned, sustainable, by the way, because raising a game doesn't mean you would sustain it. Always remember that. So raise a game in a way where your growth is organic and not artificial. That is one of the reasons why we are talking about duplication, getting people better than you, all like you, and then the last are people who are not better than you, who are the easy ones to influence. Because when you look for people better than you, the first thing you have to do is raise your game. You don't get lucky in network marketing. We don't get lucky anywhere. In fact, for me, luck equals preparation. So when you're prepared, luck shows up. For me, I don't know what luck is. I know what fate is, but I don't know what luck is, because I create luck. I hustle luck. My sleepless nights is my luck. my doing 18-hour sessions is my luck. So that's all what luck is all about. And I know that because when I was doing network marketing, when I didn't make money, people made fun of me. When I started making the money, a couple of $1,000 a week, when I was 21 years old, people thought, you know what they told me? I was lucky, because their mind couldn't comprehend how else this can happen. And I can tell you, I didn't win that in a lottery. Yeah, I really worked a lot hard. So first, when enhance yourself. The first thing is like, and challenge yourself on your daily set of activities. What am I doing every day? So let's say your day was 5 people. I need to invite 5 people, okay? And I've got some questions coming in, so I'll look at them in a minute as well. So I have to invite 5 people a day. Yeah, but then if you want to go to that level, I'm going to invite 10 people a day without getting burnt out, being consistent, so on and so forth, right? How do I do that? By being consistent. How do I be consistent? By having mentors. Who do you listen to and all that stuff? So enhance yourself, but don't enhance in a way where you're like exercising to a point where your muscles are torn and there's no six pack, okay? So you don't want to exhaust yourself. You should know where your limits are. So enhance yourself organically. That also doesn't mean it will take you 5 years, okay? Now, 5 years you will arrive somewhere, but what I mean is there's a fine line between being lazy, complacent, and giving your 100%. You know when you're giving your 100%. You know when you're making your excuses. You're just convincing yourself, even if you're talking to your upline about it, okay? So give your 100, give your 120, 130, but that's about it. So that's enhance, organic enhancement. If you don't do that, guess what's going to happen? You will burn out. And it happens to some of the best of us. Top guy or a newcomer, extremely excited after 3 months, no messages, no phone calls, no nothing. I don't know what happened to that person. Huh? Why? They burnt out. So they started well, but they couldn't sustain it. So that's my take. And that's that network marketing success depends on that small things you do every day. It doesn't depend on that magic knowledge and that mantra someone has. Now, the many skills you need to learn and you brush it every single day. I understand that, but there's no magic pill. So that's number one. Yeah. So Gary, that's I hope that answers the question.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. And I'm going to go back to Suma right now, who asked a private question on, I just called out her name, I'm not sure. But I like that question, that if I have a Kangen machine for my health, the answer is I have taken Kangen water consistently over a long period of time, but I do a lot more with water than Kangen water. But the answer is yes. I've had it, I've used it. I'm not right now on it, but I've had it and used it.
Guys, don't guys forget trying to pitch Tahir. He's mine, okay? Don't forget trying to pitch him.
I absolutely love that question, by the way. I absolutely love that question. Yeah. So I'm going to just quickly read out because I need to go. So Jordan, how do you handle one who reject? Sorry, I'll take one before that. Doblet, what would be the best pitch on a call when you are starting out in network marketing? So here's the thing: you do not want the best pitch. And the reason is because if you're starting out in network marketing, you're going to give the wrong pitch. So what you want to do is that you want to talk about what comes from your heart. How, and here's the question, how can I serve you? When that's the intention, and it can be related to water, someone's health, their family's income, there are many ways you can approach it. Don't worry about how you're going to do it or the best pitch, right? Because then you've got a certain standard to meet, and there are many books written on it, by the way, and there's no right way to do it. What I've found out is the right way to do is when your heart is in the right place. You start a conversation, and the conversation is not, hey Jordan, what water do you drink? That's weird. That's not how you start a conversation, okay? But when you do it from your heart, like you would do, like one of the things some of my friends used to tell me is that when you started network marketing back in the days, we saw you became weird. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I just wanted to be a salesman. That's what I became. I shouldn't be. I should be the same guy who is their friend. Just like I would go to a good restaurant or go ask them for a good movie. Same genuine interest. And then let's see where that conversation goes. So start a conversation, okay? Not a pitch. So that's the answer there. Jordan, how do you handle one who rejects network marketing? Good question. Opinion versus facts, okay? Most of the people are giving you their opinion. You should be ready with the facts. So number one, attitude. Give them the benefit of doubt that they do not understand the industry. So someone says, oh, is this one of those pyramid things? You can laugh about it. So I joke about it. I'm like, oh, no, you mean the corporate structure. No. We don't do corporate stuff. And they can laugh about it, right? So this is network or something else where they say, we don't believe in network marketing. I totally understand. But could you tell me why? Maybe something happened to them. Maybe, I don't know, their neighbor went into a scam but hear their story before you start giving them the facts. The more you hear, the easier it is for you to close them. So that's how you're handling the objection on network marketing. But get your facts. Know who the top income earners are. Know who are the ones in your company, in your team, in the industry, how big the industry is, and then give them these facts. According to Direct Selling Association in 2017, network marketing was bigger than Hollywood. There you go. But only when you've listened. So don't try and force yourself, because a lot of people, when they get a question like that, they start defending. They're like, kill you, it's my industry. Don't do that stuff. So just hear them out, Okay, so
okay,
yes.
Before you go on, there's one question from Win in Australia. This
Yes.
is on Facebook. What are some of the clever, innovative ideas that you have seen developed during this pandemic in order to grow an MLM company or an MLM business? Any pointers on that? Some very innovative strategy during this pandemic?
Yes. So one, technology. Get on technology. Your appointments are now WhatsApp messages, Facebook messages, Viber messages. You have to figure out, what does your prospect use? What does your customers use? There's a general culture in a particular region of using something. Americans probably use FaceTime a lot more than Southeast Asians would be using WhatsApp as an example, or a messenger. So you have to figure that out, right? And maximize on that technology. So you see, today, because of technology and all these channels, maximization for free is a lot easier than 20 years ago when you had to pick up a phone. By the way, you have to pay phone bills. Today, you only pay an internet bill. So whether you use Netflix on it, or whether you use prospecting techniques on it, it's up to you. Whether you watch Jim Rohn and Tony Robbins on it, or whether you're watching Beyonce on it, up to you. It's the same bill, by the way. So you get innovative about using technology. Number one. Number two, real quick, if you have a physical product, you have to learn the geniusness on how they can test it, use it, in a way where it is not cheesy, where they're like, what are you trying to do? Innovative yet heartwarming. See, so that's the technique you need to figure out. For duplication, protect your people's mindset. I understand when you are in a home and you've got kids or you've got a wife and it's a small place, there's not enough place to talk and all that, improvise. Go to your car park and talk for 1 hour, whatever it takes, right? So understand where they're coming from, be empathetic, and then tell them there is a better way, but it comes with sacrifices, right? So these are just some of the ways how you can innovate. And again, the same example of Eric Worre, the guy is putting $20 million. Do you know that he actually asked Tony Robbins if he can use his already built studio? And Tony said, sorry, Eric, I'm not giving it out. I'm not leasing it out. It's only for my company or something on those lines. So he went ahead and he's building one for the December conference of GoPro Recruiting Mastery. That's innovation, right? But he also believes in the industry. He's going to put $20 million first. He's not putting $20 million because he has $20 million. He definitely has that money, but he's putting that because he believes in the industry first, because he believes that he's now going to elevate his level of serving the community like he has never done before. And he's done a hell lot for this community around the world. So that's another example of elevation, right? Learn from the best. So that's some of the things I would recommend.
Amazing, amazing. Jeffrey, are there other questions from the floor? Because we need to wrap this up in the next 5 minutes.
All right, from Michael, last one. How do you approach the corporate sector during this difficult period, especially if you don't have any contacts with the corporation?
So if you don't have contacts with the corporation, you've got two options. Build the contacts, the enough networking sessions, join enough groups. LinkedIn is the biggest one on social media. Don't care if you like it or not. I don't like it. I'm on it. So that's the way to do it. Number one. Number two, if something doesn't come to you naturally, one of the things we do in network marketing is we hammer it into you. You should, no, you shouldn't. If that doesn't come to you naturally, what does? Don't tell me watching Netflix, that doesn't count. So what comes naturally? It doesn't have to be corporate. Corporate are one of the difficult ones to explain, right? So what does come to you naturally? Maybe the youth generation comes to you naturally. Maybe people who share the same interests as you, who love to travel, or whatever that interest is. So one of the things I would encourage you to do is look at your interests. Look at social media. Look at people who are interested in those interests, and then look for those people. You know why? Because those people also drink water. So that would come to you naturally. Like I'll give you my example. So if I'm starting on day one and I'm no one literally, so I'm going to go for planes because I love them. Cars, I love them. Travel, I love that. And I'll go into those groups, right? I'm not going to go into the corporate because I would stay away from them, although I train them. But I wouldn't go there. I'm like, no, I'll probably be happier, easier for me to relate to these people. Start there. Doctors with the doctors, engineers with the engineers, lawyers with the lawyers. Don't build this fake concept that, oh, if they are a doctor. No, MLM doesn't pay you based on who you are, right? So start with where it's comfortable. Right? I love cooking. Great. Let's start with the ones who cook. I'm pretty sure they need some water. So that's the paradigm shift. So don't get into that. Go where it comes easy, and then learn the skill, because then it will come naturally. You have enough topics of common interest to speak about. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. So guys, wow, Tahir, today's session, although we are supposed to end at 1.5, but you have given us so much value that all our guys, I'm getting so many private messages from WhatsApp to Facebook to live. Our guys just love you so much, hopefully we can get you back one of these days again to share maybe some new innovative ideas or some things that you are doing that probably can enhance the lives, the business of our people here in this community. From the bottom of my heart, I really like to thank you for giving this part of your knowledge, your ideas, and your time to share with us, knowing that there's no, there's no connection in whatever as far as Kangen is concerned, but I believe in the future there is, so that we can, really learn from one another, because sometimes you need people from a third party, like the bird's eye view to look at things and to look at it not so in the box, that can give us really, really good idea to move forward. All right, so Tahir, once again, thank you very much.